It's Saturday morning and time for Home Sense. Brought to you by Southern Roofing Texas, a GAF Master Elite contractor. When quality and experience matters. Now, here's your host, Mike Landry, and featuring the ASID Interior Designer of the Week, Darla Bankston May.
I'm glad I guessed that one right. Boy, wouldn't you be happy if it was Mary playing?
Oh, yeah.
Who's that?
I could go home and go back to bed.
No, please don't. We need you today, as a matter of fact.
Joking.
Dream Theaters is in with us. All right, let's talk about home theater, home automation, mostly home theater. Home theater, we're going to find out, is home theater dead, okay? Or is it just taking a new form? Home automation is at the forefront of everything. People are so lazy, this stuff is going to be in hot demand, man, I'm telling you. If they could just not, look, tell the car to go to work, okay? I'll be there later. Mm-hmm. Once that happens, we're all good. I mean, we're talking jets and stuff right now. We've got the guys in from Dream Theaters. You can find them online at dreamtheatershouston.com. Mm-hmm. Greg and Ray are in. Greg, thanks for coming in, brother.
Thanks for having us.
Ray? Thank you. Now, let me tell you guys something. You have an incredible showroom in the Resource Center over off of
Old Katy Road.
Old Katy Road, right. The 610 and I-10 area.
Yes.
Man, how did you guys get started in this business? Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of hobbyists out there. You guys are actually professionals.
So many years ago, I actually used to work for Ray in a completely non-related industry. And before that, I used to do car audio for fun, hobbies, learned a lot about it, started doing other stuff, doing boats. Ray bought a house that actually had a theater in it, and we decided to do it on ourselves, do it on our own. And about halfway through it, Ray's like, "You want to start a company?" I'm like, "I work for you. I can't do that." So lo and behold, we started a company, and we just started learning and going to trade shows and manufacturers training, and that was in 1999, and here we are today.
That's really weird.
We all started in 1999.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we started our building business in 1999. Darla started hers in 1999, and that's really funny.
Yeah, it's a magic number, I guess.
Must have been the weather. So let me ask you guys, you've been doing this for a long time, and you really are at the pinnacle of, somebody's going to, a custom builder doing a high-end home automation package, Crestron, Lutron, big home theater stuff. You guys are really the go-to guys.
Absolutely.
Darla's actually working with you guys on a project right now, right?
Yes, we sure are.
What? How did they? This is their first show. How'd you give them a deal before they even got on the air? You're going to give us a bad reputation.
No, we had actually worked on a project several years ago together.
Oh, that's right.
And then I called them. I'm redoing a client's game room and upstairs room and turning it into a game room, a home theater room. And so I gave them a call to talk to them about it. And then they were having some issues too with all of their system, downstairs, TVs.
How big? Describe the house. How old is the house? How big is the house?
The house was built, I think, in about 1999, right around there.
Wow, this is really the weird.
Yes,
Twilight Zone stuff, right?
It is. And I know the builder who built the house. Excellent builder. Really, it was built very well. Mm-hmm. But I think as coming up to progressing with the home automation, as everything has progressed, from 1999.
Structured wiring has changed big time over the last 20 years. So, how many square feet is the house? Do you guys know?
Probably around 7,500.
Yes,
something like that.
Right. It's a very expensive house and a very what general Memorial. Okay. So what's the job application? What are they trying to accomplish?
I think they're building. We're doing like a TV room / bar, kind of a little theater also.
Mm-hmm.
So problems we're running into right now is the house wasn't wired. At the time, it may have been wired properly, but very minimal. Mm-hmm. And so we're now trying to get wires from the first floor to the second floor. But the way the house was designed and built, we're having to actually take wires outside the house and bring it back in to be able to run through the house. That's what it is now. In today's world, if you wire it properly, you can go back and do things for the future. Right now, without cutting sheetrock, tearing down very nice custom trim molding, which gets very expensive. The best way is to wire it right now and not run into those problems.
Let's talk about structure wiring today, because here's the problem: the builders have a really big job. Okay, you've got 500 different trades you're dealing with, and they all want the job, they all want the work. The electricians are trying to hawk the bit. Hey man, we're pulling wires. Let's go ahead and just pull the cable and the foam stuff for you. You know, and you got so many moving parts on so many jobs. That sounds really good to you, but the problem with today is, 20 years ago, not a real big deal. Today, huge problem, because we are so dependent on iPads and computers and all these televisions, internet access, direct TV, satellites. I mean, I was asking you, we were joking around. I said, yeah, don't you have to pull 2 cables for satellite? You have to do that anymore. But what does a minimum outlet structured wire look like? How would you pre-wire? How would you tell me, a builder, that I need to pre-wire the house for maximum eventuality?
So the way we wire every major TV is we wire 4 Cat5s back to a rack location, and then we wire 2 Cat5s and coax back to a structured CAN. That's where your services come into the house and get distributed.
So you got 4 of those Cat5 cables, those computer cables coming out of one outlet?
Typically, we come out of what we call a nose port. Okay. We don't actually put a termination, because we try to limit the number of terminations, because every termination point is a possible point of failure. Okay. So we like to come straight out and go straight into the equipment. So we'll leave the wire in the wall until we need it, and once we need it, we'll pull it out of that nose port and go straight into the electronics that would need to hook it up
But it's there in case you want to scale the application, right? Correct. So it's already wired for that.
That's exactly right.
Now, the other thing you guys do that I think is pretty smart is you actually run a conduit, a solid pipe, so that in case you need to run another wire, you can fish a line through there and get it done, right?
Exactly. I mean, we don't know what kind of wires are going to be in 10 years. I mean, it's going to be something new, totally different. Maybe it's fiber optics. Maybe it's something brand new that doesn't even exist right now. But running that future tube gives us a way to get wires there later on without having to open the walls up. So we try to run future tube to every major TV location, and again, our major electronics locations, because we don't always put the electronics at the TVs. Most people don't want to see them anymore. They just want a TV on the wall. So we'll put the electronics, in a closet, in a cabinet, nearby, but not right there. And some of our larger homes actually have dedicated electronics rooms.
That's why the planning is such an important part, right, Darla? Yes. Because you've got, the problem with plans is you have they throw some cabinets on the wall to show that there's an intent for a home theater or some kind of television and furniture or built-in or something right there. Right. But it's arbitrary. It's not specific. But the plans are all detailed, right? Mm-hmm. So when the electrical plan gets flipped over, well, there's a cabinet there, so I got to put 2 plugs. Well, those 2 plugs are exactly where that electrician is going to put it. Yeah. In an arbitrary piece of furniture, right? So you have to be specific with that stuff. It's not going to work itself out in the field. Nope. What you got is somebody trying to put up a structure, dry it in as fast as they can, and get all the stuff done so they can get an attaboy for doing it quickly. Right. But there's no specs. There's no specifics, right? So these guys walk out. What's the first thing they're going to say? What are we going to do in here? How big is the television? What do you want it to do? Are you going to do satellite? Are you going to do cable? They start asking you a whole list of questions that should have been asked during the plan stage, not when the structure's up and you're going, we're starting pre-wire today. Right. Right?
Exactly. We want to meet as early as possible.
Exactly. I mean, that is the key. That's the hook right there. You need prior planning, man. You need to get this in the plan stage. Would you agree?
Completely. And you need to allow for another homeowner who may be coming in that is going to change it around. I like options. Exactly. So that it's not on one wall, it can be on several walls.
That's a great point.
Yeah. Even to help with resale.
Yes, exactly. It does.
Pre-wire is the cheapest thing you're going to do, or the most expensive. If you just ignore the technology, guys, to expand all the possibilities, then you don't have anything to plug it into. So you just built $1 million house, and what they tell you is, can't do that. Yeah. Can't have that.
Not without opening up the
walls.
And
it's like, well, how much money do I have to spend to get that?
You can do anything.
That's right.
You can do anything, but you have to plan it, right? The problem is hurrying up and getting it done without a roadmap. That's the problem. 281-997-2381. 281-997-2381. Dream Theaters. You can find them online at dreamtheatershouston.com. Go visit their showroom in the Design Resource Center. It's right there near 610 and I-10 on Old Katy Road. Is it?
Houston Design Center.
Houston Design Center. I'm sorry. Well, pardon me. I'm just a stupid builder.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. I get that confused. Houston Design Center, that's what you said?
Yes.
So I can get that programmed in. It's an awesome place. I mean, there's a lot of things there. Go check them out online at dreamtheatershouston.com.